Yep, embarrassment time. This corner, that cupboard. Yep. I think it's time to start into the kitchen. I mean, do I really need all these bottles and things anymore? Seriously. Mind you, there's probably some in there that can be donated. I have crystal wine glasses back there. Like, seriously, what am I thinking? Yeah. Hello, Orson. Apparently, I'm not paying attention to Orson. Alrighty. What can't be donated will be recycled. Let's get this show on the road. I have to admit, those little Starbucks cups are kind of cute. Do I keep it? I don't go into work every day anymore. Oh well. Let's go. There is one cup, though, I am keeping. My mother left that here. She said, keep it. Ha. Oh, what fun. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to keep a cup. Do you think maybe I use this cup a lot when I was driving back and forth to work? Yeah, I think I'm going to recycle that old guy. I'm not even going to donate him. Check it out. There's a corner back there. But as much as I love these things, I don't use them anymore. But there's probably somebody out there that still takes hot food to work. So, donation box it goes. All right, these are the cups I'm keeping. My Bubba, because I don't know if you've ever had a Bubba. These guys right there, these guys are fabulous. I did keep the little Starbucks cup, Mom's cup, another coffee cup. Sorry, you can't even see me. And, of course, my Timmy's cup with the handle. We have pared down the cups. Got rid of some for donation, and there's one more of these where I found the lid, and I'm going to donate both of them. Okay, so there's one more cup that's here, and I keep forgetting to ask Mom whether or not she meant to leave it here. I talk to Mom like every 2 days, and she even got her initials on the bottom. I don't know whether she left it here on purpose or not, but it's been up in the cupboard, and I should probably find out. Of course, this is not going to be donated. Alrighty, we have a hole. I took a few things out of the cupboard already, but we have a hole. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. This thing is just a little bit too short for me to put the air fryer under. See that? If this was gone, I could put that air fryer in there, but I don't think it would quite look right. Alrighty, so now I'm probably going to keep bowls and things in here, but we have that cupboard, which is the next one we're going to tackle. So I have random things in there. I have no idea. So, I mean, look at this. You want to see what this is? This is PEI dirt that my father dug from East Point Lighthouse. I mean, who keeps stuff like this? Me, apparently, because I'm going to put it back. See that right there? If you want to make brownies, this is the best chocolate. Oh, check that out. So this bowl, it's been at the back of this cupboard. I have not used this bowl, and I have no idea how long. So this was the first present Fred ever bought me. So it's a big popcorn bowl, see? Popcorn is for sharing. I like the inside. Yeah. I think that that's the new home. I just got to remember to take it down every now and then because, you know, hey, it'll probably get pretty dusty up there. So far so good. I have got the mixing bowls and things that I use all the time. The glass bowls, which I don't use much, and a couple of serving trays. This vase didn't fit up top where I wanted it. And the water jug. the popcorn jug, the other vase, and just a couple of little things up there. But I did put these guys up top with the bowl. And that little shelf's all done, and yeah, I kept the dirt. So you may be thinking, why am I doing this with all you guys? Frustration is a huge part of my life. I look at stuff and I just can't do it. I don't get it. But that is one of the reasons why I take you guys with me when I do stuff like this. And yeah, the dining room only went so far, but the freezer worked out. I went back to the freezer. I never did show you. And then I made a mess of it again, but hey, that happens. But like I said, I'm bringing you with me because if I don't, it's just not going to get done. So I might as well take full advantage. But part of it's done. This chick's got to get ready for work, so we will continue this adventure tomorrow. Yeah, so I just donated a bunch of bottles. And they got such cool bottles. I'm tempted to buy a bottle, but I do not need a bottle. I think those look cool. Not big enough, but they're still cool. If anything, guys, don't ignore the end caps. There's some pretty cool deals on the end caps. Note to self, get out of the kitchen section. It's dangerous in here. But it doesn't look like I'm getting any more canning supplies. Yeah, she's looking pretty empty in the canning section. These are cool though. Wow, from the looks of that, I'm not getting any salad today. Wow. That's an empty shelf. Yeah, so maybe it's, maybe I'll start salads next week. Big thing of spring mix, $6.99. That's a lot of money. Same thing, guys, at the grocery store. Don't roll these out. That spot, it can be cut out. He is perfect for the freezer. I'm not sure I'm ready for Christmas yet, but he looks kind of cute. So, yeah, I still have a lot of stuff, but it's a little better. It's really dark in here with that, isn't it? Let me show you what I've been doing. So I did manage to make it look like I have counters again. But kind of got her sorted, guys. We've got our mixing bowls that we use, different additives like lattes and stuff, popcorn stuff at the top. This cupboard though is no longer display. It used to be, but we have the hot chocolate in here. We have our premixes, my humble teas. You know, a couple of things that I don't use all the time. Yeah, so I said before, organization, it's not my forte. It is something I am learning, and I am dragging myself, kicking and screaming to get it done. But yeah, yesterday's little interlude at the shops too. I needed to get a couple of things, and I admit I spent way too much time, but yeah, it was supposed to be get all the salad stuff and start to have my salads every day for lunchtime. But the prices, I just couldn't do it. And the selection, unfortunately, was really, really low. Now, Prince Edward Island, yeah, everything comes in by truck, but still. And of course, thanks Fiona again. I never did get the winter garden started. I could start some lettuce, I suppose. But that would be, once again, a diversion from what I'm supposed to be doing. But we're going to take a break. Excuse me. It's been raining. I got allergy issues. But like I said, or I was about to say, I'm going to take a bit of a break. think we're gonna get some no-knead dough made, and I think we're gonna talk about that again today because I've got some whole wheat flour. How about we try and make some no-knead bread, but we do whole wheat? So these no-knead breads, they're the same breads that we've done the last time, and it was such a long little segment. I just took out all of my yakety yak and I just thought I'd shorten it up for you a little bit. Now, I did just use the kettle because I wanted the warm water for the raisins, but it also saves me from walking back and forth in the kitchen with this new rearrangement. Now, what I did is I did equal parts whole wheat, equal parts white flour. I did discover, though, is that that whole wheat flour isn't quite as dry as my regular white flour, so the brown bread did come out a little stickier. But afterwards, when we were eating dinner and we had some of that fresh bread, it wasn't nearly as dense as I thought it was going to be, which you're going to hear me talk about here in a little bit. But the raisin bread, it is a little less sugar than the last time as well. I only put about 3 tablespoons of brown sugar in the raisin bread with the cinnamon, the salt, and the brown sugar and the raisins. Oh my gosh, the brain just shut off. But anyway, to get to the point, the other thing I have discovered is I really, really, really need to get some plastic wrap because the towels over the top gave me this little tiny crust that I kind of had to half knead in, but final result came out really, really well. I also cannot find the original video that you and I made together when we did the no-knead bread that first time. So what I've done is I'm going to link below the original no-knead bread recipe that I actually started with, which is from an old copy of Mother Earth News. It's a little bit more of an off-gridder homesteader kind of magazine, but they do have some pretty good and some pretty cool articles. You might actually like it, but that's actually where the base no-knead bread came from. And to be honest, you might really, really like it. I know I do. I decided I'm going to try something. I saw this the other day. There's a pastry chef, I think she is, that did this, and she basically tried it to see if it was real and if it worked. So I'm going to try it. Making a mess. So the way it works apparently is you take a box of your favorite gelatin. This is just no name raspberry because, hey, I'm in Canada. Everybody has no name. And I just boiled the kettle in a half a cup of hot water. And we're going to dissolve the gelatin first. All right, I let it chill for 10 minutes. Let's open up the evaporated milk. So the way I understand it, and the way they explain it, is that you're whipping the milk, and being it's evaporated milk, it's thicker, of course. And then the gelatin, as it cools, will kind of, capture everything. And that'll keep you that moussey kind of idea. Alrighty, this is where it gets loud. I can see how this would work. Alright, now this old mixer, it has a hard time, so I'm gonna let this cool for a bit and then I'm gonna whip it again. So I'm gonna put it in the fridge. So I'm hoping that this is gonna work because I have to do it in 2 stages. Alrighty, there's our bread, by the way. So here's the question. What kind of mixer do you guys have? Because this old mixer, this thing is better than 25 years old. It is starting to fail. And good old Black & Decker. Now I was debating on getting another Black & Decker, but I want different heads. I would actually like to get a really good high-powered one with a couple of different kinds of heads. But what are your thoughts? What do you have? I'm almost afraid to whip it. It's not quite set, doesn't have quite enough bubbles yet, but it's actually working well. Doesn't taste too bad either. Alrighty, here we go. Okay, so I can definitely see how this works. I mean, look at that. I mean, it's not ready yet. It still has to cool quite a bit, but now that it's cold and we whipped it again, looks pretty good. Today has been a day. I am clean again. Clean shirt. Alrighty, so we're gonna get the bread started. So even though it's my day off, I tend to go everywhere. So this is my weekend. My weekend isn't on a weekend, but it still works out for me. So my weekends, I am everywhere. So yesterday, of course, we started the kitchen. It's not done yet. It's better. I mean, I got the bowls back there. I got my tea and stuff, but that's all right. Organization, it happens. We've got a big box of stuff, which is down there for donation so far. There's probably more stuff. There's a box of actual margarita glasses actually up there that we've never used. We got 2 at Value Village like years ago. 2 boxes of 4. The 1 box of 4 we use for desserts, but the other box I'm not going to use. So I'm probably going to donate that. What else do I have? I honestly am not sure. There is more stuff that I know I don't use. I'm just going to pass along. But let's get back to the point, because these guys right here, these guys I use. He looks familiar. We've made bread in him before. So the oven, I'm preheating 450, screaming hot, okay? Now this is that other new one that we showed. This is the one I actually made the baked beans in. So I'm gonna put these in the oven now. They're heavy. So the only part that sucks about making 2 at once. Believe it or not, the smaller pot, even though they're both cast iron, this smaller pot is wicked heavy, all right? In the oven they go. So, in typical Tammy fashion, I completely messed up recording the last little section. So, what you didn't see was me getting the bread out of the bowls and forming them up. Can you see those? Let's try this again. There we go. Forming them up and setting them here to rest. Because, you know, apparently when you think you push the record button and you miss, it doesn't record. But no worries. So I'm going to, while we're waiting for the oven to warm, because I've got those pots in there, like I said, screaming hot. Shortly, they'll take about 20 minutes to preheat completely, which is the perfect amount of time for these guys to rest. They'll actually rise a tiny bit again as well. Now, what I was saying, and as I've mentioned before, the last time we made some nice homemade no-knead bread, is that these are ridiculously sticky. And what I should say is that the whole wheat kind of gives it more of a good fermented bread kind of smell to me. It might just be me, might just be my allergies. No idea. But I can tell you that they smell phenomenal. I am really, really happy. So let me grab the parchment paper and we'll get that part ready for when these pots are out of the oven. Okay, so I do use parchment when I do this. You can use cornmeal. I have used cornmeal, but the parchment I can use probably about 4 times before it actually scorches too much around the edges where I have to put it in the wood stove. The cornmeal though, it works phenomenal. It's got gives you a great crust on it, but the cornmeal tends to burn. And then I also have a nasty, because I tip the things out. You'll see it later on. When I tip them out, I get cornmeal everywhere. I checked. It's recording this time. Okay, let me get these pots out of the oven, guys. They are ready. Now these are so hot that I can feel it through the oven mitts, just so you know. Okay, so raisin bread first. That's basically it. Drop it in. Now I did the raisin bread first because The other bread is a lot stickier for some reason today, so I know I'm really gonna have to wash the hands. Actually, I have to use the spatula to get that up off the counter. Look at that. It's like sticky. Oh my goodness, way too sticky. Now, if you do make yours too sticky like I did, don't worry about them cooling down too much. They are cast iron. They retain the heat for a long time. And make sure your hands are really dry before you put those oven mitts back on. In 30 minutes, I'm going to open the door, take the lids off, and then they're gonna cook for another 15 minutes, still at 450. And then when I take them out, I'll show you how they look. Bread's done. I've got them out of the oven. Let me tip them out. I'm gonna put them on the rack here and we'll take a look, okay? Whole wheat. Raisin. Now the raisin, of course, is darker because there is sugar in it, okay? So, alrighty. Do we have a good thumpy? Thumpy, thumpy. So there's our whole wheat loaf. It looks fabulous. Wow, that parchment paper's loud. And our raisin bread is ready. Now, like I said, this one is a lot darker because of the brown sugar. Now, what I've discovered is if I'm going to use the whole wheat flour, because they smell phenomenal, that I am going to have to do the full overnight. I just realized you can see the shadow of my phone. Anyway, sorry, squirrel moment. Alrighty, back to the point. If I'm gonna do whole wheat, I'm gonna have to do that full overnight rise, so it actually gets a little extra lift, maybe a little extra yeast, because it is definitely a denser loaf. They didn't get as big as when we normally make them, and just feeling this whole wheat, it's got some give to it, but it's definitely denser. So, but that's it. Oh yeah, let's check out our mousse while we have the chance. Let me get it. Shockingly pink. Alrighty, let's dig in and see how it looks. Oh, look at that. It worked. Mmm. Fabulous raspberry flavor. Okay, so when she did these recipes, do they work or not work, and she said this worked, yeah, I'm kind of impressed. I'll see if I can find it. But if all else fails, I'll write down below the steps. I am pleasantly surprised. Now, if you don't want to use flavored gelatin, you could probably do this with unflavored and then put whatever flavor you want, like cocoa, to be honest. Why not? I'm impressed. But anyway, guys, just a minute. I didn't want to put that down with the mousse on it. But that's it. These are my whirlwind days off, and thanks for holding me accountable for the kitchen. I mean, I admit, got dinner there ready to go in the oven. I still have cauliflower and rice. I need to find a container for my rice. I admit frustration happens. Thanks, like I said, for holding me accountable. Hope you watch let me start that sentence again. I hope you like my little whirlwind weekend. A little bit more intense than normal, but that's okay. That's it for me, guys. I'm gonna get dinner in the oven because, hey, don't forget, it is my day off, so I cook on my day off. Get dinner in the oven, get this kitchen tidied back up a little bit, and thanks for watching, and come on with us next time as we do our Simpler Life on PEI. Bye for now.